So Unit 5 or Lesson 5 is all about number comparisons. We're going to be looking at comparing fractions to decimals and putting them in order. So this first example, we've got mixed representations of fractions and decimals, so we've got to get a common form of everything. 3 over 10 is going to be 0.3. 4 over 5 is going to be 0.8. And 1 over 6, if you were to do long division, you would find out that's 0.167. So now as we look at these decimals, when we put them in order, the smallest is going to be 0.8, and so we want to make sure that's first. The next smallest is going to be 1 over 6, so we have 0.08, and then 1 over 6, so answer choice D is going to be our correct response. When we're looking at these restaurants, we've got Restaurant A sells a quarter pound of beef in their burgers for $5, while Restaurant B sells a third pound. Well, if we're comparing 1/4, 1 over 4 to 1 over 3, if we convert that to twelfths, because that's our common denominator, this is 3 over 12, and this is 4 over 12. Well, 3 over 12 is smaller than 4 over 12, and so that's why it told us that Restaurant B was our answer. Now here, common mistake students make will, just because the number of decimal places does not necessarily impact the value. And so for this particular case, from least to greatest, 0.001 is the smallest of these numbers, that's 1,000th. 0.01 is 100th. And finally, 0.1 is the largest of these numbers, and that's there. If we look at the second example, if we're looking at a 0 in the tenths place, those are going to be smaller than we have a value in the tenths place. So 0.02, 0.04, 0.06. Then we have those 0.1, because that's 10 hundredths. Then we're going to have 0.3 and 0.5. On the next example, with the fractions, we can determine a common fraction, or we can go to decimals. For this particular example, I have 2 improper fractions, which are going to be our greatest. So this is 4.5 and this is 1. So 9 over 2 is going to definitely be our largest number. 7 over 6 is going to be the next largest number. And so we've got those 2 identified. Now as to compare 1/4 and 5/8. 5/8 is definitely going to be larger. It's more than a half, so we know it's more than 0.5. So that's going to be our next largest number. 3 over 10 is 0.3. 1 over 4 is 0.25. So 3/10. And then 1 over 4. If you'd rather, you could convert all these to decimals, but if you can use a little bit of your number sense, you can save a lot of steps on that problem. This one is just like the one we looked at earlier. If we convert all these to decimals, we can solve. Correct answer should be C. The next one, once again, we want to convert all those to decimals. We're putting those in order from least to greatest, and because of that, we get an answer of D. And the practice is going to be extremely similar. This one, it's asking for the greatest value, so the easiest thing to do is going to be convert all of those to a decimal. When you do that, you'll see that that first answer is 4 over 7. The next one, we're going to have numbers in order from least to greatest. So once again, you can either use some number sense or just compare like we did a minute ago. Answer B, and then follow the last one, which one has the smallest value, should be answer choice A. And that is going to conclude lesson number 5.